Hi, precious heart. Thank you for joining us for our weekly vlog. As the Company of Heaven has affirmed, the matrices for the obsolete paradigms that were miscreated in the past by our fragmented and fear-based human egos have been dismantled and are no longer viable. So now the question is, how is this incredible event going to manifest in our daily lives? Well, the beings of light have assured us that there is no longer a matrix or a foundational structure that is vibrating at the discordant frequency necessary to sustain the obsolete paradigms that have been dismantled. This means that even though there are still people who are desperately trying to maintain their power and the ability to oppress, manipulate, and control the masses of humanity, there is no matrix to sustain their nefarious efforts, and they will fail. Through myriad activities of light since the birth of this new decade, 2020, lightworkers around the world, in collaboration with the Company of Heaven, have successfully dismantled the shackles of limitation and the shadows that have enshrouded the souls of humanity for eons of time. Now, as a result of that God-victorious accomplishment, our Father, Mother God have confirmed that our precious planet Earth is ascending into the light, unimpeded, and there is no turning back. When we observe what is occurring in the outer world, it is very easy for us to doubt this information that is being shared by the Company of Heaven. That is because the wondrous events that are being co-created through the unified efforts of heaven and earth must first manifest in the realms of cause, where everything begins. Then, in alignment with universal law, in order for those creations to manifest in the physical plane of earth, the sons and daughters of God embodied on earth must magnetize those patterns of perfection into the world of form through the divinity of our heart flames. This is accomplished as we focus on the light and express the heart-based patterns we have co-created through our thoughts, words, feelings, and actions. Even though our co-creations may not be as obvious as we would like for them to be in the outer world just yet, our Father, Mother God have affirmed that the light-filled events being co-created by lightworkers at this time are affecting in very positive ways every person, place, condition, and thing on this planet. All of us have participated in co-creating these events through our I Am presence, whether we are aware of it or not on a conscious level. This was possible because the masses of humanity have now reached a critical mass of divine love that was accomplished through the collective light work and the heart-based patterns of divine love that have been both invoked and expressed by millions of sons and daughters of God all over the world since the birth of this new decade. Even if you were unaware of the magnitude of what your light and love were contributing to Mother Earth's ascension process since the birth of 2020, our Father, Mother God want you to know that you have been an essential part of this process. Every prayer, every meditation, every loving thought, feeling, word, or action you have expressed for any part of life has been woven into humanity's collective cup of consciousness, which has now reached a critical mass of divine love. Our Father, Mother God said the floodgates of heaven have now opened. This ensures that the way has been cleared for awakening humanity to begin co-creating with the company of heaven miracles that will tangibly transfigure this sweet earth and all life evolving upon her into the heart-based patterns of the new earth as we proceed through this decade, 2020 to 2030. The myriad lifetimes and lessons we have individually and collectively experienced since we were breathed forth from the heart of our Father, Mother, God, have uniquely prepared each of us for the mission at hand. Collectively, those of us embodied at this time have experienced every conceivable positive and negative situation manifesting on earth. All of these experiences were necessary in order to prepare us for the next phase of Earth's ascension process. Today, the company of heaven is asking that we briefly review a few of the life-transforming changes we have all experienced through the divine intervention of our I Am presence since the birth of this new decade. The reason for this review is to encourage us and to help us grasp the incredible changes within our earthly bodies that we have experienced in spite of the resistance from our fear-based human egos. Many of you will be well aware of these changes. However, if this information seems new to you, just ask your I Am presence to reveal to you the truth of this sharing through the divinity of your heart flame. In the latter months of 2019, some major events took place that were essential in paving the way for the birth of the new decade, 2020. In August of 2019, during the 32nd anniversary of harmonic convergence, which originally occurred in 1987, the sons and daughters of God on earth reached a collective frequency of vibration that allowed our I Am presence to activate our 12 fifth-dimensional crystalline solar strands of DNA. This is the DNA that our I Am presence is using now for the divine alchemy that is transfiguring our third-dimensional physical, etheric, mental, and emotional carbon-based earthly bodies into fifth-dimensional crystalline-based solar light bodies. These are the vehicles we will abide in on the new earth. That activation cleared the way for the next step of the divine plan. On December 12th, 2019, which was numerically a 12-12-12 day, we were able to complete an activity of light that our I Am presence had been preparing for since our fall from grace eons ago. It is not by accident that December 12th is the day of celebration that turns the attention of millions of people all over the world to Mother Mary and the Virgin of Guadalupe. This aspect of Mother Mary reflects the love nature of our Mother God and the Divine Feminine. 1212 is a sacred geometric code that was imprinted within humanity's DNA by our I Am presence after our fall from grace. The divine intent of this code was for it to serve as a catalyst for humanity's accelerated awakening once our I Am presence was able to activate our 12 fifth-dimensional strands of DNA. On December 12th, 2019, every person's I Am presence successfully activated our 1212 catalyst codes for the very first time. 10 days later, we experienced a very powerful December solstice. And on Christmas Day, December 25th, 2019, we were blessed with a new moon solar eclipse that built in momentum as we birthed the new decade, 2020. The immaculate concept of this decade was sealed within the core of purity and every particle and wave of life on Earth during the powerful full moon lunar eclipse on January 11th, 2020. After the birth of the new decade, our Father, Mother God, in the company of heaven, revealed that during the next 10 years, 2020 to 2030, humanity will change the history of Mother Earth and allow all life evolving upon her. We were told that humanity will develop our latent abilities through which we will literally transfigure our earthly bodies and our outer world life experiences into the heart-based patterns of perfection associated with the fifth dimensional new earth. We were told this seemingly miraculous transfiguration will be accomplished through a greatly expanded collaboration between the company of heaven and an awakened humanity. Our Father, Mother God granted a cosmic dispensation and told us that the degree of collaboration that will now be allowed by cosmic law between heaven and earth has never before been attempted. We had no idea exactly what that meant at the time. However, within a matter of weeks, for the first time ever, we experienced a forced global timeout. We were told by the beings of light that regardless of the outer world's circumstances, this planetary pause would create the space for humanity's I Am presence to be heard in new ways, and it would allow our newly activated 1212 catalyst codes to awaken the masses of humanity in ways we had not previously experienced. They said that with the success of this mass awakening and humanity's upward shift of consciousness, nothing would ever be the same. During the next few months, billions of lightworkers around the world lovingly invoked healing light from the heart of God with the divine intent of healing our earthly bodies and transcending the pain and suffering surfacing in every country of the world. This unified focus of attention formed a collective cup of consciousness that allowed the I Am presence of every person to work in collaboration with the company of heaven to accomplish what seemed like miracles. Humanity's fall from grace occurred eons ago when we made the fateful decision to use our creative faculties of thought and feeling in ways that were not based in love. These distorted thought forms caused the gross patterns of aging, disease, and decay to begin manifesting in our earthly bodies. Lifetime after lifetime, this degradation of our bodies became so ingrained that our fallen human egos inadvertently manifested what the company of heaven referred to as enslavement codes in our DNA. These mutated enslavement codes, in turn, manifested what the beings of light referred to as our karmic body template. The beings of light said that in order for the I Am presence in every person to succeed in transfiguring our third-dimensional carbon-based planetary bodies into fifth-dimensional crystalline solar light bodies, it was imperative that our enslavement codes and our karmic body templates be transmuted into light and replaced with new divinity codes and a divine body template. During the first few months of 2020, this glorious event was God victoriously accomplished within the earthly bodies of every man, woman, and child by his or her I Am presence working in unison with the company of heaven. Once humanity's divinity codes and our divine body templates were in place, our I Am presence was able to integrate into our earthly bodies. This integration occurred through the divinity in every person's heart flame. The final activities of light for 2020 involved the December 21st solstice and a rare alignment between the planets Jupiter and Saturn known as the Great Conjunction. The synchronicity of the December solstice and the Great Conjunction in 2020 created the sacred space for the I Am presence of every son and daughter of God evolving on earth to permanently elevate our holy breath. This incredible divine intervention is now allowing each of us to receive higher frequencies of prana and our life force with every breath we take. This is empowering our light work and our ability to express God's comprehensive divine love exponentially. This transfiguration within our earthly bodies and our holy breath were an essential factor in clearing the way for the dismantling of the obsolete paradigms from the past. Dear one, this week we are being encouraged to ask our I Am presence how these incredible changes in our earthly bodies will assist us personally to fulfill our part of the life-transforming divine plan for 2022. Next week, we will learn more about just what that divine plan is. God bless you, dear heart. I look forward to being with you next week.